Good morning, everyone. I hope you can hear me okay. First of all, I'd like to thank the people organizing the JoomlaDay Netherlands event for inviting me. It's a great opportunity to discuss and meet with people that we all share interest, Joomla in particular. And it's always a pleasure, of course, coming to the Netherlands. So what I'm going to talk today about, we're going to discuss about something, a matter that's, I don't know if it's been discussed before, but I think we're quite mature now. As a market, I mean, Joomla is quite a mature market to be discussing about business models of third-party developers or integrators. So today we'll see the two possible ways that someone can be involved into Joomla and actually make money. So many consider that the fact that we're using open source as professionals or as simple mom and pop businesses, as we say, believe that it's difficult to make a living perhaps with open source because the software is free and there's lots of free add-ons. And generally, there's a very big competition in the market. We have other CMSs as well that are open source, and we of course have commercial CMSs that are backed by big companies like Vignette or IBM's solutions. I cannot tell you, of course, how to become filthy rich today, but I can surely tell you some very basic steps that will help you towards the direction of making a good living. So let's get started. There are two open source business channels in Joomla. Basically, we can do these two things. We can develop Joomla websites, or we can develop Joomla extensions. And when I say extensions, I mean both plugins, components, modules, and templates as well. These are the basic two things that we can do to actually make a good living in the Joomla community. Of course, there are other means of making money in Joomla, like offering consulting services. But these are, let's say, the two most basic channels that can lead to a quick success. So for these two case scenarios, we have some steps that apply to both. And step one is decide what you want and can do. So you're getting into Joomla, and you're thinking, what is it that I can do to offer to the community or my clients, and of course make a living out of that. It is very crucial to establish a working philosophy. You need to have some goals, some targets in order to get started. In this case, of course, I can only offer as an example the one that I know most, which is my example. When we started as JoomlaWorks back in 2006, I say we because we were two people, things were kind of blurry. It had passed about a year after the transition from Mambo to Joomla. So things, as you can imagine, were still a bit vague. We only had a few commercial developers, and of course we didn't know if they were making money. And the other thing that was very vague at that time was how many people were actually involved with Joomla. But in the coming years, this of course cleared up. As you know now, Joomla, along with WordPress and Drupal, is one of the most successful and popular open source CMSs worldwide. So what we did as JoomlaWorks was focus on bringing something new to the community. We, of course, established a working philosophy towards extensions. And in order to differentiate ourselves, we tried to do something different. So we didn't try reproducing extensions that they were already existent, just in a different manner. It's like Brian Tiemann said yesterday, don't be jealous and try and be innovative, try and do different things. So this is what we did. We established a clear working philosophy that we're not going to copy anyone else. We're just going to try and do something different. We started like that, and things went pretty well. And this is something that we still follow as a company now that we're 7 people. So JoomlaWorks spurred, we started building some free extensions. And then we moved into commercial extensions after we saw that people were downloading our free stuff by thousands. So what you have to do, either way, if either you decide to get into extensions, templates, or develop websites for clients, what you have to do is the second most significant part is to engage with open source. This basically means that you have to become aware of this ecosystem in which you're basically getting in as a professional. So you have to understand how the community works, what the rules of the community are. You have, of course, to respect the community. And you have to see how other people are moving within the community. So, for example, we have professional developers, but we have people that work within the community out of a habit. They don't actually make money, which is something that you have to respect. And when you talk about Joomla and open source, you shouldn't be talking about, all the time about how to make money. It's the thing is supposed to be fun. So there are many people doing this out of fun, but there are people that are doing this to make a living. So you have to engage within the open source philosophy in order to move forward and understand that open source basically is community. So becoming part of the community, like what you do here today, joining JoomlaDay events or participating in forum discussions, or creating your own communities and forums as professionals, is a step forward towards success in open source. So the second step, engaging into open source and becoming part of the community. This will help you gain exposure. And there are, of course, other things that will help you towards this goal. And if you've decided what you want to do, either go into developing websites, which I guess is the most of you are into that already, or developing extensions as programmers, you have to gain exposure in order for your business to become successful. So if you're already part of the community, if you know its ways, how it operates, how the Joomla community operates, it's easy to become well-known within the community by doing simple things, like contributing back. This can be in the form of help within the Joomla forums. This can be in the form of writing extensions that you give for free under the GPL license. Or it can be offering your services to the Joomla organization itself in order to help other people and make Joomla become even more popular. This is something classic and something that we have been doing as JoomlaWorks and many other developers since 2005, at least when Joomla was started. Now, in these days, you don't have to be in forums all day, of course. It's significant to establish a presence, but there are other means that you can use to make people know, about what you're doing. And these are all the social media services that like Twitter or Facebook, even services like YouTube, and social media that generally make you acquainted, get you acquainted with other people. Using social media is a very, it's a really good tool these days, and I can tell you that I don't know if you're aware of the extensions that we produce, but we have this extension that we developed for the past year. It's called K2, which is like CMS within the Joomla CMS. So K2 is like, so to speak, the de facto content component now in Joomla, and this is this is holding a very big part to the fact that I have been using Twitter. We have been using Twitter as a company for more than a year. So engaging with people in that way seems to have worked. Of course, K2 is a free product, but the fact that you're making yourself known out of a free product is not something that's bad for you. It's actually something that's making you popular and making you popular very fast. So you should always consider using all these social tools that are available, like Twitter and Facebook, to engage with other people. That way you create something like a fan base, so to speak. You don't actually get fans, but you get people that can follow you, and all these people will then spread all the things that you can contribute back to the community as a developer. Of course, the last it's also a classic thing to do for a company engaged in open source is to participate in events, and if possible, present your products, your services, and let the people know. It's always different to actually see the person that is developing an extension. So it's nice. You can discuss with others, or you can curse them. I don't know if you've used their software and you don't like it. It's having a physical contact is a lot better. So let's see now some steps that apply specifically to extension development, because there are, of course, some differentiations between that and developing websites. Step one is to identify real needs and upcoming trends within the community. Like I said before, don't repeat yourself. There are 10 weather modules already. There's no reason to write one more. You have to understand what the current trends are within the internet, and if possible, apply them within the Joomla ecosystem. So, for example, the booming of the social media the past few years is an indication of the fact that if you can create new applications within Joomla that integrate all these social media services. So this is just an example to understand what is it that you can actually put into the community as a developer and distinguish yourself. So it's really important to remember the rule not to reinvent the wheel when it comes to extensions. Step two is to establish your own sub-community. Don't just stick to creating a presentation website for the extension, be it a component, module, plugin, or a template. You have to engage people in your own sub-community, and I'm saying sub-community because there's the greater community of Joomla. So you have to have a space for your clients, your users, that can actually go into and seek for help, because at this point, the popularity of Joomla is so much big that it's very difficult for someone to seek help into the Joomla forums. The people in helping with the Joomla organization, they're doing a great job trying to help everybody, but as you can understand, we're talking about thousands of users coming into Joomla every day. So you should establish a community, and you should use the right tools as well. Forums may be a bit, let's say, not fitting the bill right now, so you can always use tools that are more social. There's a platform of Ning, and there are many platforms like Ning, and even open source tools like Elg or Plig, which you can use to create communities that integrate forums as well. This just makes the whole communication bit with users a lot easier. And this is the way to basically engage your users. If you provide better tools for communication, you give them an incentive to contribute back. So if you market free and commercial extensions as well, which is something that I definitely recommend, because you give the incentive to people to come and use your stuff, your free stuff. And if you make a good job writing good free stuff, they will definitely buy your commercial stuff. And not only that, all these people will spread the word that this guy, this developer, this company, they're doing a hell of a job, and they will recommend to friends, they will recommend to other people in other forums, and they will just spur your community. Definitely don't be frightened by criticism, especially when you start developing extensions. It's most definite that many people will say, this is not so well implemented, it's crap, your code sucks. You will get lots of emails, perhaps, angry emails, hate emails. I'll tell all my friends not to visit your website again, and stuff like that. You shouldn't be intimidated by such emails. You should be, I guess, you should remain calm and act like a professional, of course, and take criticism and try to improve yourself. So any criticism is good criticism, and the only thing that's going to come out of this is you as a better developer. Step 5, adapt and innovate. It doesn't just take good code to establish an extensions business within the Joomla community and actually make a living for years. You have to do and try new things. So again, I'll give you the personal example of JoomlaWorks. We started, when we got into the market, there were already some very big components for doing basic stuff. Like you wanted to do forms, you had Phil Taylor's forms, BF forms. You wanted to do an e-shop, you had VirtuaMart. So there was all major needs were already covered. But there was one thing that was missing, proper content management within Joomla. So that's why we decided to build K2 after many years, which was a professional decision to cover our needs in developing websites. Our business is basically, we basically do both things. We develop both websites and extensions. So we wanted a great tool that could just work for our clients, and it would simply take Joomla one step further. So we started building K2, and now it's past 2 years. I think it's a success because it actually brought something new within Joomla. It's got all the features that we're expecting to see in Joomla in the next 1 or 2 years, perhaps. So it's like saying you have features, future features now within Joomla. So this is a change. And not only that, it actually brings something new and simplifies the workflow of users. So it's our part. It's what we did to adapt within the community and do something and move forward. The good thing is that K2 has become very successful, and it has basically pushed all our commercial extensions. So people, just to say thank you, because the thing is free, they actually buy our extensions, our commercial extensions, even if they'll never use it. So this is what it means to engage the community and actually have people communicate and appreciate your work, of course. Now, there are some specific steps into web development. Step 1 is that if you use Joomla, you have to spread the word. You have to evangelize the use of Joomla wherever possible. Like Mr. Tiemann said yesterday, it's good to stick into one platform. It will make you better. And if you do that, it's even better if you spread the word about this platform and both to your clients and friends or colleagues, whoever, because it's really, of course, it's really a good platform. But even if that wasn't the case, as it is with other CMSs. You could, you just have to embrace, to show the people the benefits of using this platform, which are a ton. I mean, the openness, the flexibility, the amount of available developers, it's really great. So you have to evangelize Joomla as much as possible and stick to Joomla. Now, when you build websites, like I said, when you evangelize things, when you evangelize Joomla, you're basically trying to establish yourself as an open source specialist, and this is a reputation that you have to maintain within the ecosystem of your business. If it's a local business, like a web development business in Utrecht, you have to make yourself. You have to make people know that you're a specialist in this open source platform, Joomla, and you have to grow this reputation as much as possible. This, as I said before, it can be possible by participating in events, by starting your own events perhaps that help Joomla in some way or another. It doesn't mean that you have to, create a JoomlaDay event. You can just start by gathering perhaps other companies to let them know about the platform. Don't see this as a bad thing. Don't see having other people developing websites with Joomla as a bad thing. This is actually a good thing. For some reason, you may have a client that you've developed a website for him with Joomla. It's a lot more comforting for your client to know that if for some reason you cannot be available for development of Joomla, that they can reach out to someone else. And I think there are services in the Netherlands as well that actually gather developers and make something like groups of companies all working towards the same goal. So this is for now. This is it for now. Like I said, these won't get you millionaires, but they will at least. I hope that they will. I gave you some guidelines on how to move forward with open source and actually make a good living. If you follow the path of extensions, components, and templates, that is something that's very hard to establish a good reputation. But if you manage to do that, then you've managed to establish a good living for many, many years to come. Because it's very simple. You're not talking to your local market. You're talking to the entire world. So if what you're doing is good, then you don't have to depend on local customers only. You're actually reaching out to the entire world. If you go for websites, then this may mean smaller, less projects, of course. Not the hassle of supporting the extensions and getting into your community and helping people all the time. You may be working 9 to 5 as a developer, but these projects will certainly make you money because you use tools that cost nothing. This is a plus for you compared to other developers that use commercial CMSs. And of course, you have all the sorry, I don't know the word in English. Let's say you have all the tools and a platform, a community supporting you behind to better establish yourself as a professional within the web development business. So that's it for now. I don't know if you want to ask any questions.
Any questions? Maybe Fotis, could you? We try to understand who's here. Get it? People that are first time at a Joomla event. So not today only, but can I see hands of the people that went the first time to this event? Okay, and who would say, I'm not a developer, but just a user of Joomla. I want to use it for my website and that's it. Okay, thank you. And who is actually getting money, wants to get money from, or a living from Joomla? Look at that, look at that.
It seems to be a hot
Thank
topic.
you. So, I was wondering, why are there any questions? We have here a man. We have a man from Greece.
I'd like to say something different. I'd like to indicate how popular Joomla has become. A few months back, our company and some other companies were approached by venture partners. This is an American venture capital firm handling around $3 billion, and they were looking to invest within Joomla. So they were actually looking into buying companies and joining their forces to build a super company, something like a Joomla equivalent of Acquia, which is the most well-known company doing business in Drupal. So this is a good thing. This means that if the venture capitalists have seen that there's a huge market in this, then I'm sure that you can see that we all have a place in that market. And the second most important thing is that I think almost everybody, almost all companies that were being approached by these venture capitalists, kindly declined to sell their businesses. So this is a second indication that this is a good business. You're actually making money out of this. And if we help spread the word about Joomla, if we participate in events, if we evangelize about Joomla into our friends, our customers everywhere, then we just make the community grow. And if we make the community grow, we basically extend our ecosystem, the ecosystem in which we run as developers. I'm guessing, like I said, that most of you develop websites, which is the easiest thing to do to get into the open source business of Joomla. If we further extend Joomla's name and make Joomla popular, then you will become your asset of knowing Joomla will become even more. People will want Joomla developers to build their websites because people will know that Joomla is an easy platform to build websites. And if you need something, if you need a developer, you can easily get one without depending on a single company. There are many websites that we've built in Greece websites that were migrated from closed source platforms or commercial CMSs into Joomla, and we only get to hear good things about using and working with Joomla.
Okay, thank you. Yes, I will switch to Dutch now because
I think there's a question.
Okay, good.
If you could start over your company, what would you change to make more money?
I would just go into the extensions business. I mean, it's not all markets are the same. I mean, doing websites in Greece is very different to doing websites in the Netherlands. I can tell you for that. I can tell you that for sure. There are many. We have many big companies like Microsoft, which have a huge penetration within the market, and this has created a philosophy that everything that's Microsoft related is the best. And this is something that has made open source very difficult into expanding in Greece the past few years. But this is something that's changing. So, like you said, if I started now, I would definitely start only as JoomlaWorks, only extensions, and perhaps templates.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Your remark on Microsoft, I think the Dutch situation is pretty similar, that one.